Good morning, students. Welcome back to the enrichment classes after your PT1 exam. In the last enrichment class, if you remember, students, in physics, I had given some questions. We will continue our discussion on such questions and some more. So follow these solutions carefully. It will help you in learning the concepts. Today, most of the questions that we will do will again be related to the topics like dipole moment and electric field and potential relation and so on. Potential I will cover a bit today, and next class I will debate mostly on potentials. Here is our first question. In this figure, we have the coordinate axes x, y and z. In red arrows, we represent uniform electric field. How do we know it is uniform? Because the arrows are uniformly spaced and they are parallel. There is a point A whose coordinates are d, d and 0, and there is point O, that is the origin itself, whose coordinates will be 0, 0, 0. You have to find potential difference between these 2 points O and A. It has some options. The options are as below. So these are the options. We have to find potential difference between O and A. That potential difference will be VA minus VO. You know, students, this by definition is nothing but minus integration E dot dr from initial point O to final point A, where the coordinates of O and A are known to us. Now E dot dr vector I have explained in last class. In terms of components, we can write it like this: Ex into dx plus Ey into dy plus Ez into dz. And we have the integral with negative sign. So they become minus integral this much, minus integral this much. And then the limits. Limits are from origin O. At O, the values of x, y and z are 0, 0 and 0. And for point A, the coordinates are d, d, 0. So this will be d, this will also be d, and this will be 0. Now it is this equation which we have to solve. Now in this particular figure that is given, if you see carefully the value, direction of E, it is given in the question that uniform electric field lies in xy plane. Since electric field is in xy plane, its z component will be 0. So the third term will vanish. Now we are left with this: Ex dx and Ey dy. The value of electric field is given to be E. E is the magnitude. What will be Ex? Ex is the x component of electric field. Electric field makes angle theta with x axis. So this electric field x component will be E cos theta. So Ex will become how much? It will become E times cos theta. And that is a constant because theta is constant and E is also constant. So we can take it out of the integration. This minus sign will be there. Now integration dx will be left. What is integration dx? It is x. And the limits are from where to where? 0 to d. Likewise, second term, Ey. Ey will be the y component of electric field. That is nothing but E sin theta. So we will have E sin theta outside the integration. And we will be left with integration dy. Integration dy is nothing but y, and its limits will be from 0 to d. Now what will be this value? This will be d minus 0, so I can write it as d. This will be d minus 0, so I can write this also as d. So that is our answer. Our answer will be minus E, we can take common. We can take cos theta as, d as common. So minus E times d, and then we will be left with cos theta plus sin theta. Which option is correct? Now you can see here it is minus. We have found VA minus V naught. If we find VO minus VA, it will be plus of ED cos theta plus sin theta. So this option we will treat it as constant. as the correct option. So our correct option will be A, that is ED times cos theta plus sin theta. Probably I have discussed this question earlier also, but I wanted to discuss it again. This method is very, very important, students. Clear? It was not clear whether you have to find VA minus VO or VO minus VA. If it is given, then there is no problem. Let's see next question. This is next question. It is in your assignment you will find this as question number 35. This is a large sheet of charge. Plus sigma is the surface charge density. And this line is normal to this sheet. Making an angle theta to this line, there is a rod. This rod has its midpoint over this line, and it has plus lambda as linear density of charge in this half part and minus lambda as the linear density of charge in the other half. So I am reading the question for you. A large sheet carries uniform surface charge density sigma. A rod of length 2L, this length is 2L, has linear charge density lambda on one half minus lambda on other half. The rod is hinged at the midpoint O. So this point is O, and makes an angle theta with the normal to the sheet. The torque experienced by the rod, that is what we have to find. 4 options are given. Now we have already read how to find torque experienced by a dipole placed in external uniform electric field. First of all, you should remember that due to large plane sheet of charge, the electric field will be directed normal to the sheet like so. And this electric field will have a value how much? E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. And if you wish to write in vector form, you can write E vector is equal to this much n cap, where n cap is unit vector along the normal to the sheet. Now we have to find the torque. To find the torque, what we will do? We'll choose an element at a distance x from O over here. So this distance we'll take it as x. Its thickness we'll take it as dx. Likewise, at the same distance x on the other side, we'll choose an element. Its thickness will also be how much? Dx. Now because here it is having plus lambda as linear charge density, on this the charge I'll write as dq on this element, and on this element the charge will be how much? Minus dq. Plus and minus. Forget about the other things. Concentrate only on these two charges, dq and minus dq. How much will be dq? dq will be lambda times dx as per the definition for lambda. Lambda is charge per unit length. So dq will be lambda times dx. This dq is also lambda times dx. So minus dq is minus lambda into dx. Now these two charge elements dq and minus dq are very small. They can be treated as point charge. So it is like a dipole. For a dipole having charge plus q and minus q, the torque that is experienced by it under the influence of external electric field, you know it is given as P cross E. So its value is how much? P E sin theta. Here also the angle is theta, so no problem. This is the torque due to electric field E on a dipole of dipole moment P. Now how much will be dipole moment P? Dipole moment is charge into distance between the two oppositely charged particles. So the charge is how much? dq. And what is the distance between them? See, this is x, this is also x. So distance will be 2x. So I'll write dq into 2x. So let me repeat again. Tau is P E sin theta. So E sin theta is as such. P I have written as q into this distance, that is 2x. This is the torque due to this pair of element. So this I'll write as d tau. The total torque on this entire rod, which will be tau, will be obtained by integrating this particular expression, and the variable is x, and we will take the limits of x from this point to this point. See, we are choosing pairs, So one pair we have chosen like so, another pair will be here, another pair will be here, another pair will be here. So starting from origin, we will choose pairs of elements, and then when we move from 0 to x on one side, we are done. So the limits will be 0 to x. Now as I told, variable is x, so we want other things to be out of the integral. So e is constant, then this 2 is constant, this sin theta is constant, so they will go out. Integration dq. Now what is our dq? dq is lambda into dx. Lambda I will put out and dx will be inside, and then this is the x. So let me check it out again. So dq we will write as lambda dx. Lambda I have taken out, dx I have written inside the integral. Then 2e sin theta I have taken it out, x I have put in the integral, and then we will put the limits 0 to x. Now what is the value of E? Our E is sigma by 2 epsilon naught. So I will put E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. So 2 will cancel. So what things will be left behind? Sigma, lambda, sin theta, epsilon naught, and what else? Integration x dx will be x square by 2, and the limits from 0 to x. So we will get x square upon, sorry, it's not 0 to x, it should be 0 to L. I am mistaken here. The length of this rod is 2L. So this to this point, half of the rod's length is L. So the integral will be from 0 to L. So this will become x square by 2. The limits are from 0 to L. So this becomes L square upon 2. Now you can check which of the options is correct. So we have sigma lambda L square, sigma lambda L square, then sin theta, and then in denominator we have 2 times epsilon naught. So the second option is the correct answer. So did you follow, students? How did we calculate the net torque? So it is very important. So please practice it once again. Let's see the next question. Here we are given two dipoles of dipole moments P1 and P2, and they are short dipoles. The question is like this: two short electric dipoles are placed as shown. The energy of electric interaction between these dipoles we have to find, and 4 options are given. So we have to find electrostatic potential energy. For that we will use one standard result for potential due to an electric dipole. If you remember, students, if we have a dipole minus q plus q, and from its midpoint at a distance r, at this point the potential V is given by the formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, which I will write as k, into p cos theta. If the dipole moment is p, so p cos theta upon r square, where r is this particular distance. If you remember this, we have already done the derivation in our regular classes. You can check out the derivation. So you have to remember this particular formula for potential. Likewise, this dipole will have how much potential at this location? It will have k times its dipole moment, that is p2 cos theta upon r square, where r is the distance of some point. I will choose the length of this dipole as L. That is not given. I will assume it as L. And dipole moment, you know, it's directed from negative charge to the positive charge. I will assume here, suppose the charge minus q rests, and here the charge is plus q. Then our P1 will be how much? Charge q times separation between them, that is L. Now potential energy, students, you know, it is given by the formula charge into potential at that point. Now here minus q charge is present at this point. Its potential energy will be minus q into potential at this point. Now potential at this point is due to this dipole. So that formula will be how much? K times P2 cos theta upon this distance square, that is r square. This is the potential energy due to the negative charge. Now for the positive charge plus q of the dipole, the potential energy will be how much? It will be plus q times k times P2 cos theta upon this distance square from center to this point. Now this is R, this I have assumed as L, so this total distance should be how much? R plus L. So its square. It is this which we have to calculate, and on calculation it should match with one of the given options. So what things we can take common? Let us first take that. So K P2 cos theta. These things we can take common, and Q also we can take common. So what will be left? So we have taken K Q P2 cos theta as a common. So what will be left? Here we will be left with 1 by R plus L whole square, and this negative term will be minus 1 by R square. Now how do we simplify it? It is given that these dipoles are short, so we will assume one approximation that the length of this dipole L is very small compared to this distance R. Now how do we calculate that? Here you have to use binomial expansion, students. Let's see how do we do that. First of all, you see, in this denominator, if you take R common, that will come out of this parenthesis as R square, and this will become 1 plus L by R. And this R square and this R square you can take common, that will come out of the bracket like so. This expression we can take to the numerator, it will become 1 plus L by R to the power minus 2. It will become 1 plus L by R to the power minus 2. And if you expand it binomially, restricting to only two terms, it will become 1, then this multiplied by this, that is minus 2 times L upon R. Other terms we can neglect because L by R is very very small compared to 1. As we have discussed, L is very very small compared to R, so L upon R is very small compared to 1. So if they are very small, the higher terms, that is L by R square, L by R cube, they will be further small and therefore they are neglected. So its value is this much, and then we have minus 1. Rest things remain same. So 1 and 1 will cancel. So what will be left? We will be left with this minus sign will be there. K times P2 times cos theta times Q, and then here 2L. This R and this R square together it becomes R cube. Now you see Q into L. The dipole moment Q into L is P1. So Q and L I can replace by P1, and P1 I can write here. So our 2 I am putting here. So our answer is minus 2K P1 P2 cos theta upon R cube. So this one is I think the correct option. Option B is the correct one. Minus 2K P1 P2 cos theta upon R cube. So if you are asked to find potential energy for a pair of dipoles, it is this method. If you use the concept for potential due to one dipole, your method will become simpler. Otherwise you will have 4 terms. You will have minus Q plus Q here, minus Q plus Q here for 4 pairs. You will have more pairs, actually 6 pairs. You will have to find the potential energy. So this is a comparatively better method. Let's see one more question based on dipoles. The next question number 38 that I would like to discuss is like so, that there are 4 charges. They are placed each at a distance A. This and these. All these distances are A from origin. The dipole moment of the configuration you have to find. 4 options are given. Now how do we do such questions? In such questions where the charges are given, try to bring in pairs of equal and opposite charges. For example, this is Q. So you want one minus Q charge. This minus 2Q, I'll break it up into minus Q and minus Q. So I'll consider there are 2 charges. One is minus Q and one more minus Q charge at the same location. Likewise, this 3q, I'll think it of as q and 2q placed at the same location. So what is the advantage of doing or splitting the charges like so? This minus q and this plus q separated by this distance constitutes one dipole. This minus q and this plus q separated by this distance constitutes another dipole, and this 2q and this minus 2q separated by this particular distance gives the third dipole. The dipole moments of these three dipoles can be represented by the vector quantities. This dipole moment will be directed like so. This dipole moment will be directed like so. You know the direction of dipole moment is from negative charge to the positive charge. And because these two are identical, therefore these two dipole moments will have same value, which I'll call as P. So you have two vectors P, and what is the value of P? P is equal to, what is the value of this dipole moment? Either of the charge, that is Q, multiplied by distance between them. What is this distance? You can use Pythagoras theorem. Under root a square plus a square, that is 2a square, which is nothing but a times root 2. So we'll have q, we'll have a, and we'll have root 2. So this is the dipole moment of one of the dipoles. Now there are two dipole moment vectors, and these two dipole moment vectors are directed at an angle of 90 degree, and they have same value. So their resultant will be in this direction like this. So this is the resultant. Let this resultant be denoted as P dash vector. So how much will be the value of P dash vector? Its value will be, you see, this is P, they can be resolved into two components. This will be P cos 45, P sin 45. Likewise, this can be resolved into P cos 45, P sin 45. So P sin 45 components, they will cancel, and what will be left behind is P cos 45 plus P cos 45, that is 2P cos 45. Now what is cos 45? That is 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2 I'll put here. So this becomes how much? Root 2 times P. What is P? P is Q times A times root 2. So this becomes how much? 2 times Q times A. So this is the dipole moment equivalent for these two dipoles. One more dipole is left. Which one is that? The third one. What is the direction of its dipole moment? The direction of dipole moment will be from negative to the positive charge. So this is minus 2q, this is plus 2q. So it will be directed like so. And I'll draw it a bit longer because here the value of dipole moment will be more. This I'll call it as P double dash. Now how much will be P double dash? Now here I have written vector. Its magnitude is this much. Direction, it is clear that it is along negative x-axis. Likewise, P double dash vector, its magnitude will be how much? Either of the charge magnitude, that is 2q, into distance between them. So this is root under a square plus a square. We have already seen that is root 2 times a. Now if you wish to write in vector form, then this will have two components, one like so along x-axis, other one like so along y-axis. Now this angle is 45 degree. So this much cos 45, this much I cap, and same value 2q root 2a sin 45 j cap. See, its value was P double dash. So this will be P double dash cos 45, this will be P double dash sin 45. So this much I cap, this much j cap, that is what I have written. Next, cos 45 and sin 45, we know they are 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2 and 1 by root 2 will be cancelled by root 2 and root 2. So how much will be left? We will be left with 2q a I cap plus 2q a j cap. And P dash vector, its value we have denoted, we have found 2qa, and what is the direction? Opposite to x-axis. So we write minus I cap. Therefore, the resultant dipole moment P net vector will be sum of these two, and when you add them, then you will see I cap terms will put together. So 2qa and minus 2qa, they will cancel. What will be left behind is 2qa times j cap. So which option should be correct? Or option number A, 2qa j cap, is the correct answer to this particular question. So I'll stop here, students. Practice these numericals properly, and in the next class I'll devote some questions on potential. I think I'll take only couple of classes more on this topic. By then we would have covered a number of questions on electric field and potential. So for now it's bye from me, and see you in the next class.